Why, hello there. Good evening, darlings. I'm glad to see you made it. Hello. Welcome in. And Rumble, thank you for the raid, as always. Marvellous. Thank you. Well, now that you're all here, there is something that has been on my mind, and I was wondering if you might help me out with it. What is an object in your space that never moves, but you would notice it if it did? If you could just enlighten me on what that object is for you, it would be most helpful with my categorizing, as it were. Yes, good evening, Shads. Good evening, Auntie Apple. Good evening, big, comfy couch brony girl. That's an interesting one. Good evening. I feel as though I know you by a different name. Good evening, Raven Moon. Hello. Good evening, Spider. Good evening, Jordan Hunter. I feel like I know that name too. I've a half-crooked grin, I believe is you. I believe that's you. And Auntie Apple as well. Hello, Auntie Apple. Your lantern on the TV stand. If it moves, you will be suspicious. Yes, alright. I didn't know that you had a lantern on your TV stand. Shadow, you think your dream catcher, if it started swaying? And I suppose. But it could just be a nice big gust of wind, right? That sets that about. That's possible, isn't it? Rarity! Oh, you're Rarity. Alright. Thank you, Rarity. Thank you. Emmy says, really, anything that isn't my keyboard, mouse, drawing tablet, microphone, or chair you would notice. Yeah, all of the things that just sit around that you're not actively using. Kronos, I can't think of anything besides, like, my stove or fridge. Listen, alright? If my stove or fridge just moved on its own, I think I would notice too. I would hope that I would notice too. It would be shocking for something that large to move on its own without being noticed. No, I don't like that. The Lego brick raven on your entertainment stand, Spider. You did send me photos of this recently. I think it would be fair if you'd notice that would move. I still have to build mine. I was gifted a lovely little Lego set. It's like a book with a raven and it's beautiful and I absolutely adore it. I've just not found time to sit down and do like a 1,500 piece Lego. Auntie Apple, you'd think it would be your Lego collection? Lots of Lego fans. But that's the thing about them, right? They're not meant to move on their own. Although, honestly, I do wish sometimes that they did. I understand that for most people, building Lego is fun. It's about the process, right? You like sorting things, following directions, figuring it out as you go. I look at Lego and I'm like, I just want you to be finished. I just want you to be finished. That's what I want. I want to be able to admire you. I like the finished product. I do have fun building them though. I do enjoy building them. Just the finished product for me is always so much more fun. So much more fun. Definitely your more secure things on your desk, like your desktop tower. I think it would freak me out if my desktop tower moved. Which is a little ridiculous if you think about it. My desktop tower is actually under the desk and it is on wheels. Well, my tower itself doesn't have wheels, obviously. That would be ridiculous. Someone should make one of those. But I have it on a little stand that has wheels, so that way it stays up off the floor, so it doesn't, suck up all the rug underneath it. One of your drawings that would randomly fall off your shelf, you thought it was your fan blowing? Hold on a moment. Rarity. Rarity. Are you telling me that this has actually happened? One of your drawings has just meandered its way off of your shelf? I wonder what this drawing is of. I wonder if it was trying to tell you something. But more than that, I wonder what you did after it happened. That's what I find fascinating. The way you react to things that are going on around you. Would you like a Super Mario Lego starter kit? No, BJ, I don't think I would. No shade against Super Mario, I love me some Mario. But when it comes to a Lego, you have to imagine the finished product is going to be sitting on a shelf somewhere. And the space that I am currently in is actually rather well cultivated, if I do say so myself. Did I build my own little basement lair? Who would I be if I didn't? Well, it was trying to draw attention. It was. It was. I wonder what purpose. Drawings are such pesky little things, aren't they? Well then, I appreciate all of your input. For me, something that is in my space, that never moves, but if it did, I would notice. I think it might be my fountain pen. It remains where it belongs, and it damn well better. I dislike when tools develop ambitions of their own. It's not great. Ill-advised, really. Well, anyway, I have noticed a little something about horror, especially as I've been sitting here writing a bunch of new tales, discovering some new tales, and dusting off a few old ones. I have noticed something very particular. Horror, it seems, rarely begins with a scream. It begins with a moment, a choice, a door that's slightly open, a light left on when it shouldn't be, a sound that you could investigate or ignore. But the story always hinges on that decision. Horror doesn't usually start with blood. It starts with someone thinking, probably nothing. So from now on, I thought it would be fun to practice together. It's time for knock or nope, where we decide if we're investigating or evacuating. I'll set the stage, and then we'll see how bold we're feeling. What do you think? Shall we play? Alright then. For our first entry, let's see what we have. You're alone in your apartment. The bathroom light turns on. You're sitting on the couch. Knock or nope? Are we going to investigate or evacuate? What do you think? Tell me, what is your immediate instinct? Do you want to look further? Or do you want to just bow out of there as quickly as possible? Emmy says she's definitely investigating. So you are going to walk up the stairs. Because in my vision, your apartment has stairs. We're going to walk up the stairs and go investigate the bathroom. We're going to go look and see what's behind door number 1. It's an interesting choice, not much by way of self-preservation. But, I suppose, more information does tend to be useful. I am seeing a lot of knocks. We are bold, aren't we? But I am seeing a few nopes. But what does noping in this situation actually look like? Do we just leave the apartment? Do we never come back? We live here. We can't just leave. I mean, I suppose we could temporarily. But what are we going to do? Pack up all of our things? What if it's the middle of the night? Where are we going to go? How do we effectively nope? You'd be curious and go look with your nosy self? Yes, lots of knocking. Seems like we do like to knock, don't we? Well, are we ready for the next one? I'm excited to see your answers. So here we go. Scenario number 2. Your phone auto-connects to a Bluetooth device named Upstairs. You live in a single-story house. Knock or nope? What do we think? How bold are we? There we go, Top Ace. Well done. That's exactly what we want to see. I want your very first reaction. We're looking at the instinct here. And Top Ace's instinct is nope. Right away. Absolutely not. Morbid curiosity, but nope. Now that is interesting. I like the fact that you're curious. Morbidly so, desperately. You want to know what's happening. And yet you choose to do the clever thing, the smart thing, what feels like the right answer. But what exactly does noping out in this scenario mean? It's your phone, isn't it? Do you have another one sitting in a drawer somewhere, perhaps? A backup? Are you going to just smash your phone? Drop it in the sink? Pitch it off the balcony window? Top Ace says this is something that happens to me all the time. Not necessarily it's saying something cryptic like upstairs, but yeah. So your phone just happens to connect to random Bluetooth? That's not concerning. At all. No, that's completely normal. It's exactly how technology was designed. Spider says knock, then pick the most obnoxious song I can think of. Ah, yes, alright. So if you connect to a random Bluetooth device, your first thought is let me play something obnoxious. Let's just rickroll the neighbour upstairs. Despite the fact that we live in a one-story house, there is no neighbour upstairs. So whatever we've connected to, well, your first thought is to take it to Petty University. Doesn't always work out so well, but I do appreciate it. What do we think? Do we want another? Shall we do one more? mayhaps even 2. They are fun, aren't they? Alright, scenario number 3. Your car's backseat light turns on while you're driving at night. Knock or nope? What do we think? This one is a bit of a head scratcher, isn't it? Top Ace says knock, as in look behind me in the rear view mirror. Oh yes, now that's a clever answer. I like that. Tina, on the other hand, says nope. We're going to nope right out of there. But Tina, what does noping out of there look like? You're driving down the road. You're just going to dive out of the car? Hey, my volume broke. Can you scream for a second for you to fix it? No. However, I can do this for you. Everyone mind your ears. How's that? Did that help? I hope so. Because I'm not doing it a second time. That's a nope. You're chanting cleansing words and looking for a gas station. See, there we go. Now that's the reaction, the instinct, followed by what feels like practicality. Chanting cleansing words and looking for a place to pull over. Preferably a place with lights. Now lights always make things feel safer, don't they? We like to feel like we know what's going on. We can see what's happening. Lights do have a strange way of making us feel safer. As if whatever wants to kill us is just not going to attack in the light. Sure, no crazed killers have ever attacked in broad daylight, have they? By the way, am I ready for Trivia Murder Party Part 3? I didn't even know there was a Trivia Murder Party Part 3 coming out. I didn't even know there was one coming. That's interesting. You would knock, but you ain't throwing yourself out of the car. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Half-engine scream. Oh, that's lovely. That's wonderful. Hello, Aurora. It's good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. So for those of you that chose knock, I've only seen one person say that knock means they're going to look into their rear view mirror. Do all of you agree that that's what knock is going to be? Or are there other options for you? How are we following up on this instinct to investigate? Are we going to turn and look over our shoulder? Are we going to pull over, get out of the car and go check the back seat? What does knocking look like? I need to know. I need to know. You would rather eat chocolate. You're out of there. You know what, Chris? Fair enough. But it does become quite difficult to nope when you're driving down the road and it's your own car. It might even be a little bit ridiculous. I mean, it could be faulty wiring. It could just be a connector that's come loose. You might have hit a bump in the road that knocked something just slightly out of place. We wouldn't want to overreact, would we? After all, not everything is a horror movie. Or is it? Where would cause an accident to distract the stranger in the back and gather nearby attention fall under? I feel like that option is neither knock nor nope, but rather a secret third thing, which unfortunately, while fun, is not part of the game. Sometimes overreacting is how you catch the bad guy by surprise. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And that is very clever. It is very clever. Well then, this was fun, but we can't spend all night playing Knock or Nope. It'll return next time, I'm sure. But for now, it does mean we should probably be getting on with our main event. I, of course, have another choose your own horror story to share with you tonight, for you to play around in. It should be a load of fun. Well, at least for me, it'll be fun. How you experience it is, of course, entirely up to you. But before we can do that, as we know, we must set the space. It is time for the candle call. Let's begin. The first candle is for the observers, those who watch, those who listen, those who remain. This candle is for you. The second candle is for the participants, those who step forward, those who engage, those who act. This candle is for you. Welcome in, raiders. We are right in the middle of our candle call ritual. So give me a moment and we'll welcome you in properly, shall we? Our third candle is for the witnesses, those who remember, those who carry with them what happens here. This candle is for you. And the final candle I light myself. It's for those who would still be here, if they still could be. This candle is for them. Well then, the space is set. We can continue. Ah, here we are. Now, Mikoto, thank you so much for the raid and bringing everyone in. I really appreciate you, and you are just in time. We are about to begin a lovely, wonderful tale. What we do here is a little something that I like to call choose your own horror. I'm going to tell you a story. You're going to decide how it ends. I will present you with choices as we go along, and you get to determine our ultimate fate. Sounds fun, doesn't it? I hope you'll stick around. I hope you'll join us, and I hope you will contribute. I encourage you, as we go through this, to argue in the chat. Lobby shamelessly for what you believe is the best choice forward. Because remember, you don't get to choose alone. I know. Fate is chosen by majority. Tonight's little tale isn't about a haunted house. It isn't about a whisper in the dark or something scratching politely at your bedroom door at 3:17 in the morning. No. Tonight, we're visiting something far more comforting. A spreadsheet, a certification form, a signature. Because sometimes the most reliable monsters don't rattle chains. They submit paperwork on time. They file correctly. They check the box. They stamp it compliant. And if the form says something is safe, well, who are we to argue with a form? This is a story about a municipal worker who notices something that doesn't quite line up. A small discrepancy, a missing attachment, a signature that persists a little longer than the hand that signed it. It's about systems, about process, about the soothing lullaby of administrative completion, and about what happens when you realise that the horror isn't hidden, it's documented. So tonight, my curious little auditors of doom, we won't be running from a creature. You'll be deciding how to stand inside a machine. Choose carefully. The rain is coming. Some horrors breathe, some stalk. Some whisper from behind the drywall. This one files paperwork on time. There are stories about monsters. And then there are stories about systems. About forms that move, because they always have. About approvals that pass, because they always do. About signatures that mean something, until they don't. And still nothing stops. This is not a haunting. There are no shadows in the hallways. There's no figure standing at the end of the bed. There's only process, only procedure. Only the quiet confidence of a machine that assumes everything is fine because the box is checked. Institutional horror does not ask for belief. It asks for participation, or silence, or attention. Before we begin, you must decide how you want to stand inside of it. Would you like to be an observer? You watch the system. You notice patterns. You're not meant to change them. Would you like to be a participant? You are part of the machinery. The process moves because you help move it. Or would you like to be a witness? You are adjacent, not responsible, not empowered, just present when something reveals itself. What do we think? I'll give you a moment to argue amongst yourselves. What would be the best way forward? They are, of course, all the same story. Delightfully the same. It's just how you choose to feel them. Well then. Let's see if we can't get a vote going. A proper vote. It does not look as though our poll wants to function properly. Such a shame. Alright, we'll do it old school then. If you would like to observe, type a 1 in the chat now. If you would like to participate, type a 2 in the chat now. And if you would like to be a witness, type a 3 in the chat now. And do remember, regardless of which role you choose, there are more choices coming. This isn't one of those sit back and relax kind of stories. This is a sit up straight in your seat, buckle up, white knuckle your way through it kind of stories. Alright, based on what I can tell... there we go, now our poll is running. Well, that's quite frustrating, isn't it? I'm not sure what happened there, Ashburn. I swear, it's so hard to find a good butler these days, isn't it? That's quite frustrating. Well, as best as I can tell, it looks like the ones have it. So we're going to follow the observer route. This is fun. I quite like this role. Limited internality. Focusing on things that can be observed. We do like that. Well then, here we go. The compliance dashboard loads without error. Infrastructure division. Quarterly verification sweep. Bridges. Active. The East River crossing appears in the list as expected. Structure ID 47-13B. Status compliant. Next review cycle Q4. You open the most recent submission. Inspection year 2026. Submission date January 12th. Inspector of Record Daniel K. Holbrook. Certification completed. Structure meets minimum safety standards at time of inspection. There is a digital signature block. There are no attachments. The system has a tab labelled Supporting Documentation. It is empty. No field notes, no photographic record, no corrosion index, no load calculations, no conditions summary. You check the upload log. The form was submitted at 9:14. No secondary uploads within the hour. No delayed uploads in the days following. No flagged errors. You open 2025. Submission date January 11th. Inspector of Record Daniel K. Holbrook. Certification completed. Supporting document tab empty. No attachments. You open 2024. Same name. Same certification language. No attachments. You open 2023. Same name. Same language. No attachments. You open 2022. Same name. Same language. No attachments. Each form is formatted identically. Each signature block bears the same stylized scroll. Each submission is on time. The system marks all 5 years as compliant. There are no internal alerts attached to the structure. You open 2021. Submission date, January 8th. Inspector of Record, Daniel K. Holbrook. Certification completed. Supporting documentation tab populated. 14 photos. Image 1. Expansion joint. Rust bloom along steel plate. Image 2. Close-up of flaking corrosion at a primary truss connection. Image 3. Hairline cracking along pier cap, south side. Image 4. Water intrusion staining along bearing seat. The field notes are present. Advanced corrosion observed at node 4A. Section loss visible. Recommended repair within 6 to 12 months to prevent accelerated deterioration. Spalling concrete at pier cap. Recommend patch and seal. Drainage obstruction contributing to water retention. The recommendation summary includes language in bold. Priority, high. Repair recommended within fiscal year. You exit the file. You open the permitting database. Search Structure ID 47-13B. Permit type, repair and structural. Results, none. You widen the search to include maintenance. Permit type for maintenance and repair. Results, none. You search for contractor filings tied to the structure ID. Results, none. You check budget allocations under infrastructure maintenance for 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. No line item references 47-13B. No emergency appropriations. No grant applications tied to its repair. You open the road closure database. You search East River Crossing. No closures recorded beyond routine traffic control for a 5K charity run in 2023. The bridge remains listed as open and operational. You return to the inspection records. Inspector of Record is Daniel K. Holbrook. You open the personnel directory. Search Holbrook, Daniel. Profile loads. Position, Senior Structural Inspector for the Infrastructure Division. Status, inactive. You open the personnel history. Date of separation, October 3rd, 2021. Reason, deceased. A short internal memo is attached. It is with deep regret that we inform staff of the passing of Daniel Holbrook. Dan served the city for 27 years. The memo is dated October 5th, 2021. There is no follow-up memo assigning his inspection responsibilities to another inspector. You return to the 2022 form. Submission date, January 10th, 2022. The Inspector of Record, Daniel K. Holbrook. Submission timestamp, 8:52. You check the audit log for the digital signature. User credentials, D. Holbrook. Account status at time of submission, active. You check the account deactivation date. Account deactivated, October 4, 2021. You scroll back to the 2022 submission audit. The signature validation indicates verified. You check again. The digital signature is recognized by the system as authentic. The system does not display any anomaly warning. You open 2023. Submission timestamp, January 9th, 2023 at 9:03 a.m. Inspector of Record, Daniel K. Holbrook. Digital signature, verified. 2024, verified. 2025, verified. 2026, verified. 5 consecutive annual inspections, certified complete by an inspector whose employment record indicates death in 2021. No attachments for 5 consecutive years. No repair permits issued after a 2021 report recommending high priority structural repair. You minimize the window and open the city's public-facing infrastructure page. The bridge is listed as condition, fair, last inspection, January 2026. Next scheduled inspection, January 2027. You check the weather forecast. Heavy rain expected Friday. Accumulation 2 to 3 inches. Wind advisory possible. You reopen the 2021 photo of Node 4A. Rust flaking along the joint. Dark streaks tracing downward from a seam. Water stains. The image metadata confirms capture date, January 7th, 2021. No later images exist in the file system. You check the shared drive for off-system storage. You search for 47-13B. No results. You check archived email threads for the structure ID. The last correspondence referencing repairs dated March 2021. A contractor inquiry about estimated costs. There is no follow-up thread indicating approval. You sit with the windows open on your monitor. Inspection compliance, complete. Supporting documentation, absent. Repair permits, none. The inspector, deceased. The bridge remains open. Traffic count data indicates weekly average volume at 18,000 vehicles. The rain is expected Friday. What do you do? Do you assume this is a clerical error? Quietly investigate further? Or document everything immediately? Every option does seem rather reasonable, doesn't it? I'll give you a moment to argue amongst yourselves, decide what you would like to do, how you would like to proceed. It should be interesting. The poll is now open, now that you've had a moment to think about it amongst yourselves. For those of you that are on Twitch, if you would like to vote in the official poll, please make your way to the YouTube. All right. It looks like we have an answer, and you chose to investigate further. Well, that's interesting. Although I guess I really shouldn't be surprised. After Nope or Knock, many of you were feeling quite bold, weren't you? Well, all right then. We shall quietly investigate further. The 2026 inspection file remains open on the monitor. You minimise it and open the internal staff directory for the infrastructure division. The roster lists 3 active structural inspectors. None share the name Daniel K. Holbrook. You select the inspector assigned to bridges in the Eastern District. An email address appears. You draft a message. Request clarification regarding supporting documentation for structure ID 47-13B 2022 to 2026. Certification forms present. Attachments not visible in compliance portal. Please advise. You do not send it. You save it to drafts. You open the archived email system and search for 47-13B. Again. Results appear from early 2021. A contractor estimate request. But this time, there's a cost projection spreadsheet and a follow-up asking whether repairs would be scheduled within the fiscal year. There is no confirmation of approval. You widen the search to include 2022 to 2026. No correspondence referencing repair or inspection for the structure. You open the shared drive for infrastructure projects. You search 47-13B. No results. You open the Capital Improvement Plan archive. You scroll through the list of funded bridge projects from 2022 through 2026. Structure IDs are listed beside project titles. 47-13B does not appear. You open the maintenance work order system. Search by structure ID. No work orders issued after March 2021. You sort by geographic region. Multiple minor work orders appear in nearby roadways. Pothole patching, guardrail replacement, drainage clearing. None reference the bridge itself. You open the GIS infrastructure map. The bridge icon appears green. Status overlay. Compliant. You click the icon. Last inspection, January 26th. 2026. Condition: fair. You zoom in. The satellite image shows the river running beneath the truss structure. 2 lanes of traffic visible. No visible lane closures. No scaffolding. No equipment staged nearby. You close the map. You open the State Transportation Database and search for the structure ID cross-reference. The bridge appears listed as municipally maintained. Last reported inspection: January of 2026. No state-level flags. You open the digital signature audit log again in 2022. The IP address for submission is listed. You copy it. You open the internal network registry and search the IP address. The address revolves to a municipal office workstation designated to the Infrastructure Division. You check 2023. Different IP address. Also municipal. 2024. Municipal. 2025. Municipal. 2026. Municipal. Each submission originates from an internal network location. You open the personnel account management system. You search for D. Holbrook. Account status: deactivated October 4th, 2021. No reactivation logs are present. You check the system administrator actions for January 2022. No credential resets or temporary activations logged under that account. You return to the inspection forms. The certification language is identical each year. The font, spacing, digital signature placement are consistent. You open the weather forecast again. Heavy rain expected Friday. Estimated accumulation: still 2 to 3 inches. You close the forecast. You open the traffic volume report. Average daily crossings: 18,042 vehicles. You open the 2021 photo again. Corrosion at node 4A. Section loss visible. Recommendation: repair within fiscal year. You compare it to the 2026 public status page. Condition: fair. No reference to repair completion. You open a blank document window. You begin listing observable facts. Certification forms submitted from 2022 to 2026. No supporting documentation attached to those years. 2021 documentation recommended high priority repair. No repair permits issued 2022 to 2026. Inspector of Record deceased October 2021. Post-2021 certifications digitally signed under deceased inspector's credentials. Submissions originate from municipal network IP addresses. You stop typing. You save the document locally without a title. You close the inspection files, but do not mark the structure as reviewed in the compliance tracker. The tracker still reads, pending verification. The bridge remains listed as compliant. The rain remains forecast for Friday. The bridge remains open. Thursday, 4:11 p.m. Rain forecast for Friday. Estimated accumulation 2 to 3 inches. Storm front approaching from the southwest. The bridge remains open. Traffic cameras show steady flow in both directions. Brake lights flare intermittently in late afternoon congestion. No visible lane restrictions, no warning signage, no maintenance vehicles staged nearby. You reopen the compliance tracker. Structure 47-13B. Status: compliant. Last inspection, January 2026. Condition fair. You open the permitting database. You search 47-13B. Repair permits issued between 2022 and 2026. Still none. You open the maintenance work order system. Post 2021 work orders. Still none. You check the capital improvement plan archive again. No budget allocations tied to the structure. You once again reopen the 2021 inspection file. Photographs of corrosion at Node 4A. Field notes. Section loss visible. Recommendation for repair within 6 to 12 months. Priority is high. You open the 2022 inspection again. Certification form only. Daniel K. Holbrick. Verified. You open the weather forecast again. Friday. Heavy rain expected. Wind advisory possible. You minimise the forecast. The bridge remains open. The compliance tracker remains unchanged. No repair records exist. No budget allocations exist. No maintenance work orders exist. The bridge remains active. The storm has not yet arrived. Thursday evening approaches. The file still remains open. What do you do? Do you escalate internally through official channels? Do you warn specific people in your personal life? Or do you preserve evidence and prepare to go public? What do we think? I'll give you a moment to discuss amongst yourselves. Well, now that you've had some time to think and argue about it. Shall we start the poll then? Go ahead, cast your vote. Make your decision. Hopefully you do choose wisely. After all, you might be able to change something. Alright, everyone got their vote in? Let's see what you chose. And by a very, very slim margin, it looks like you have chosen to warn specific people in your life. Well, alright then. I'm actually rather interested in how you would choose which people to warn. It's a question for another time, perhaps. Let's go warn some specific people in your life. It is Thursday, 4:28 p.m. The compliance tracker remains open on screen. Structure ID 47-13B. Status: compliant. Last inspection: January of 2026. The weather forecast tab remains visible in the corner of your monitor. Friday: heavy rain is expected, 2 to 3 inches. You minimize the database windows and open your phone. Recent contacts list appears. 4:31 p.m. Outgoing call placed. Call duration: 2 minutes and 14 seconds. You state, try not to use the East River Bridge tomorrow. Take the North Bypass instead. The response: why? You reply, maintenance issue. Just avoid it. The call ends. At 4:35 p.m, a text message sent to a second contact. Don't take 47-13B tomorrow. Storm coming. Use alternate route. The delivery is confirmed. 4:38 p.m, a text message sent to a third contact. Bridge on East River may have structural issue. Avoid Friday. The red receipt is received. You reopen the traffic camera feed. Vehicles continue to cross in both directions. Brake lights visible in late afternoon congestion. No signage posted. No maintenance vehicles present. At 4:46 p.m, outgoing call placed. Call duration: 3 minutes, 2 seconds. You repeat the same instruction. Use the North Bypass tomorrow. Don't take the East River crossing. Response includes a question about calls. You reply, precaution. Call ends. 5:02 p.m. You reopen the permitting database. Repair permits 2022 to 2026. None. You once again reopen the maintenance work order system. No post-2021 work orders. 5:17 p.m. Incoming text message. Is something wrong with the bridge? You respond. Just avoid it tomorrow. No additional explanation sent. 5:29 p.m. The camera traffic feed shows steady evening flow. 2 lanes active. No visible lane shift. No barricades. No change in the compliance tracker. Status remains compliant. 6:03 p.m. Another outgoing message sent. Please tell Mum not to use East River Bridge Friday. Delivery confirmed. 6:47 p.m. Office floor partially vacated. Overhead lights dim slightly. You check the weather forecast again. Storm arrival projected late Friday. Accumulation unchanged. 7:12 p.m. Traffic camera feed shows lighter evening traffic. Bridge remains open. 4:37 p.m. No official public notice posted on city website. No closure order issued. No maintenance dispatch logged. Repair records remain non-existent. Budget allocations remain non-existent. 8:08 p.m. You close the compliance tracker window. The bridge remains listed as compliant. The weather forecast remains unchanged. The pavement outside the office windows is dry. It's Thursday night. The breach remains active. The storm has not yet arrived. Thursday, 9:14 p.m. Rain begins. Not heavy. Not yet. A steady, fine rainfall visible under streetlights in the parking lot outside the municipal building. Pavement darkens gradually. Reflections stretch beneath the lamps. You reopen the weather forecast. Update issued, 9:02 p.m. Storm arrival adjusted earlier than projected. Sustained rainfall overnight. Heavier bands expected by late morning Friday. Estimated accumulation unchanged, 2 to 3 inches. You open the traffic report for Friday. Projected peak commuter volume between 7:15 a.m. and 8:45 a.m. Estimated crossings on East River span during peak window, 2,300 vehicles per hour. You open the compliance tracker again. Status, still compliant. No additional flags present. You refresh. Status unchanged. You open the permitting database. Unchanged. You open the work maintenance log. Unchanged. You check the capital improvement plan archive. Still no budget allocations. You open the inspection file again. Photographs of corrosion at node 4A. Section loss visible. Recommendation repair within 6 to 12 months, priority high. You close the file. You open the traffic camera feed for 47-13B. Rain visible on the lens. Vehicles crossing steadily in both directions. Reduced speed consistent with wet pavement conditions. Headlights reflect off the roadway surface. No lane restrictions. No visible barricades. No maintenance vehicles present. You check the compliance tracker again. Status. Compliant. You check internal messaging. No new messages issued regarding 4713B. You check the city website. No public advisory posted. 9:46 p.m. Rain intensity increases. Radar shows steady precipitation over the Eastern District. You open the digital signature audit log again. Inspector of Record, Daniel K. Holbrook. Deceased, October 3rd, 2021. Digital signature verified. You close the audit log. You open the field inspection scheduling system. Status. No active field inspection currently logged for 47-13B. Next routine inspection scheduled for January 2027. You refresh. No change. 10:18 p.m. Camera traffic feed shows lighter vehicle volume compared to peak hours. Occasional truck crossings visible. Rain continues. You open the projected commuter volume report again. Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. High density. Weather impact. Reduced speed. Increased load duration on span. You open the structural classification summary from 2021. Condition fair. Not classified as structurally deficient at time of inspection. You close it. 10:52 p.m. The internal system auto logout warning appears. You re-authenticate. The compliance tracker remains unchanged. Status. Compliant. 11:07 p.m. Rain continues. Pavement fully saturated in the parking lot below. Traffic camera feed shows water spray beneath passing vehicles. Bridge remains active. No closure order issued. No advisory posted. No emergency field inspection logged. Projected Friday commuter volume remains high. 11:36 p.m. You open the weather radar again. Heavier precipitation band approaching from southwest. Arrival estimated between 6:30 a.m. and 8 a.m. You minimise the radar. The bridge remains open. No repair records exist in the system. No budget allocations, no maintenance work orders. Inspection certifications from 2022 to 2026 remain verified under deceased inspectors' credentials. Friday morning traffic projections remain high. The rain continues. Thursday night progresses. What do you do? Do you trust the system to respond in time? Do you make direct calls to people that you care about? Or do you contact the media immediately? I'll give you a moment to argue amongst yourselves. See if you can't figure out which is the best path. The optimal solution. What would you actually do in a situation like this? On the one hand, you found a bunch of records that indicate there was a structural issue with this bridge and it should be repaired. Those repairs don't appear to have happened, at least not in any way that you can verify. But on the other hand, it's been 5 years. If something bad were going to happen, certainly it would have happened already. It's likely just a clerical error. We wouldn't want to be alarmist, now would we? So what do we think? What should we do? The poll is up now. Make your choice. The rain is already coming down. Alright, let's see what you have selected. And it looks like you have chosen to make some direct calls. An interesting choice. I wonder who you're going to call. I wonder if it'll help. If it'll be effective. Let's find out, shall we? Thursday, 11:52 p.m. Rain continues in steady intensity. Water runs along the curb outside the municipal building in shallow streams. Streetlights reflect across the parking lot in blurred streaks. The compliance tracker remains open on screen. Structure ID 47-13B. Status compliant. Last inspection January 2026. No flags present. You minimise the browser window and pick up your phone. At 11:54 p.m, the outgoing call was placed. You state, do not use East River Bridge tomorrow morning. Take the North Bypass. Why? Precaution. Heavy rain. Just avoid it. Call ends. 11:58 p.m. Outgoing call placed. Call duration 2 minutes 07 seconds. You repeat. Please avoid the bridge in the morning. The response acknowledges. Call ends. 12:01 a.m. Incoming text message. Is something wrong with the bridge? You reply again. Just avoid it tomorrow. It's important. The delivery is confirmed. This time, you call your mother. 12:06 a.m. She doesn't answer. You leave a desperate voicemail. Mom, I know you take the bridge to work in the morning. Just please don't, alright? Don't take the bridge. I love you. I'll see you in the morning. Bye. The call ends. 12:11 a.m. Weather radar indicates heavier precipitation approaching 6:30 and 8 a.m. You close the radar. 12:18 a.m. Incoming text. Okay, we'll avoid it. You place the phone on the desk. The compliance tracker remains unchanged. Status: compliant. 12:23 a.m. You log out of the compliance portal. Log out confirmation displayed. You close the browser window. The camera traffic feed remains open. You close it. The desktop background fills the screen. Brain continues. 12:31 a.m. You shut down your workstation. The monitor powers off. You exit the building. Rain falls steadily. Headlights are visible in the distance crossing the East River span. No emergency vehicles present. No barricades positioned near the bridge. 12:46 a.m. You arrive home. Exterior pavement saturated. No emergency notifications on phone. No city advisories issued. Your phone is placed on the charger. Brain continues. The bridge remains open. You go to sleep with an uneasy feeling. Friday, 6:12 a.m. The rain intensifies. Weather radar shows a dense band of precipitation over the Eastern District. Sustained rainfall recorded overnight. Accumulation approaching projected totals. 6:47 a.m. Traffic projection window begins. Traffic camera feed of 47-13B shows steady morning flow. Headlights reflect in elongated streaks across the wet roadway surface. Water spray trails passing behind vehicles. 2 active lanes. No barricades. No visible lane closures. The compliance tracker remains accessible through remote login. 7:18 a.m. Rainfall intensity increases again. Vehicles continue crossing at reduced speeds. Traffic density increases. Projected volume, 2,300 vehicles per hour. 7:41 a.m. Camera feed shows intermittent pooling near the southbound shoulder. No visible structure movement. 7:52 a.m. A delivery truck enters the span from the north approach. Several passenger vehicles follow. Rain obscures portions of the camera lens. 7:53 and 12 seconds. The camera image shakes briefly. 7:53 and 15 seconds. The southbound lane dips. 7:53 and 17 seconds. A fracture line appears across the centre of the frame. 7:53 and 19 seconds. The central span drops. Vehicles tilt forward abruptly. 7:53 and 22 seconds. The camera feed is obscured by debris and water spray. Signal is lost. 7:54 a.m. Emergency dispatch logs begin. Multiple callers report structural collapse. Vehicles in water. Individuals trapped. 7:55 a.m. Police, fire, and EMS units dispatched. 8:02 a.m. Aerial news footage captures partial separation of the bridge's central span. Several vehicles visible at the break. 2 vehicles partially submerged in the river below. Rain continues. 8:11 a.m. City website updates. East River crossing closed due to structural failure. Emergency services responding. Compliance tracker refreshed. Status changes from compliant to closed. Structural failure. The 2021 inspection file remains accessible. Corrosion at Node 4A. Section loss visible. Recommendation: repair within 6 to 12 months. Priority high. The 2021 to 2026 certifications remain active in the archive. Certification forms only. Digital signature Daniel K. Holbrook. Status: deceased. October 3rd, 2021. Repair permits: none. Budget allocations: none. 8:37 a.m. Emergency response ongoing. Casualty numbers not finalised. Media outlets broadcast live footage of rescue operations. The rain continues. 9:12 a.m. Preliminary report indicates multiple fatalities. Traffic camera archive footage is replayed across news broadcasts. The moment of dip. The fracture line. The drop. The bridge had remained active until 7:59 and 17 seconds in the morning. Projected commuter volume overlapped with peak rainfall band. The compliance system functioned as designed. Certification forms had been submitted. Status had remained compliant. The bridge remained open. Friday afternoon. Recovery operations continue. Public statements issued regarding unexpected structural failure. No repair records are present in the database. No budget allocations appear in fiscal reports. The inspection certifications remain archived. The weather forecast from Thursday night remains accurate. Rainfall totals match projection. The sequence of events is recorded in timestamps and video files. The data exists. The discrepancy had been visible. The bridge collapsed. Lives were lost. The system updates. Other bridges remain compliant. Well, that was unpleasant. And not in the fun way. No masked figure, no cursed relic, no chanting in dead language under a blood moon. Just a form, a signature, a status label that stayed green until it went red. How deliciously banal. You watched it unfold. You saw the timestamps, the overlap, the rain forecast nudging politely against commuter projections, like a guest trying hard not to intrude. You noticed. That's the worst part, isn't it? You noticed. Now here's the question that will itch at you long after the credits roll. If you had pushed harder, if you had shouted sooner, if you had trusted differently, if you had trusted less, would the span still be standing? Maybe. Or perhaps the system was always going to do exactly what it did. Process, delay, defer, absorb, until physics made the final decision. Maybe you escalated. Maybe you warned. Maybe you went public. Maybe you trusted. But in every path, the rain still fell. In every path, steel still carried weight. In every path, the bridge still stood. Right up until it didn't. And that's the kind of horror that doesn't scream. It logs. It timestamps. It updates the status after the fact. So tell me, my diligent little auditors of doom, my darlings, do you carry guilt? Do you carry anger? Do you carry nothing at all? Or perhaps something else? Because sometimes the most terrifying realization isn't that you couldn't stop it. It's that you might not have been able to. And that the machine would have kept humming either way. Who knows? You carry mostly guilt. You carry curiosity. Ah, now that's fun. You don't know what to feel? That's always the best. For those of you with questions, with thoughts, who wonder what might have happened, could we have changed anything? What did it mean? What's going on with Mr. Holbrook? Is he dead? Is he still alive? Is this a ghost? Is this bureaucratic incompetence? So many different angles, so many different questions. We do have a Discord for that, and I encourage you to post all of your thoughts there about everything. You don't have to be right, you just have to be curious. Well then, we of course will be back again next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Same bat time, same bat channel. But before we go, if you're watching on YouTube, do please do me a lovely favour. Go ahead and double check. Make sure that you're actually subscribed. It really does help the channel. And if you've made it this far, hit that like button. It's a big help. Thank you, darlings. Well then, until next time, may harmony find you, and nothing else.